So we can start the sermon. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Anto jata pahi jata jataya jatitha pajang tantang gotama puchami koimang vijataye jatang sile patiddhaya naro sapanyo soimang vijataye jatang ye sangrago cha doso cha avinja cha virajita kinasava arahanto te sang vijataye jatang yattana mancha rupancha ase sang uparujjati patigang rupa sanyacha ette sa chicchate jatati. Dear listeners, today is the fifth sermon on dependent origination, dependent arising. The theme of today's sermon is a stanza in Jata Sutta in Devata Sangyutta Nikaya. That means compressed discourses. So what is now we are going to listen to the translation of these stanzas. First one. A tangle within and tangle without. The world is entangled with a tangle. About that, O Gautama, I ask you, who can disentangle this tangle? At the second stanza, the wise one, established in virtue, developing concentration and wisdom, that ardent and prudent monk, it is he who distangles this tangle. The third stanza, in whom lust as well as hate and ignorance too have faded away, those who are influx free, the arahants, it is in them that the tangle is distangled. The fourth one, wherein both name and form, resistance and perception of form are cut off, without any residue. It is here that the tangle gets snapped. Dear listeners, one day the fully enlightened Lord Buddha was in a monastery. So at that time, one god came to Lord Buddha, and normally gods come to meet Lord Buddha at the midnight with some lightnings illumining with the illumining. They come and ask questions from him. So that God came and asked this question, that is, Anto jata bahi jata, the tangle within and tangle without. Jataya jatita paja. These all beings are entangled in this tangle. Tantang Gautama Puchami, about that, or Gautama means the Lord Buddha's Lord Buddha's surname in his royal family. His surname is Gautama. Oh, that Gautama, I ask you, koi mang vijate jata. Koi mang vijate jata. The who can distangle this tangle? Then Lord Buddha answered to this question, that is, Sile patithaya naro sapanyo chittang panyacha bhavya. A person, the wise person who established in virtue, it is not a normal person, he must be a wise person. And he established in virtue, chittang panyacha bhavya. And he must develop the concentration and wisdom. Atapi nipako bhikkhu, that ardent and prudent monk, soimang vijate jata. It is he who distangle. Then again, lust as well as hate, avijjacha virajita, and ignorance too have faded away. Kinasava arahanto, those who are influx free, that arahants, the arahants, so imang vijate jata. It is in them that the tangle is distangled. The final column, yatta namancha rupancha, that is the most important one. Yatta namancha rupancha, wherein the both name and form, asesang uparujjati. Form, asesang uparujjati. Are cut off without any residue. Patigang rupa sanyacha, as well as residence and the perception of form also cut off without any residue. Ittasa jijate jata. It is here that the tangle gets snapped. So this is the fiction, and those are the answers. Now we can have some questions. What is this tangle? These worldly beings are tangled in within, also tangling without. The tangle within means the cycle of the connection of name and form. We can interpret as the within tangle. And the cycle of name, form, and cognition, we can interpret as the without tangle, outside tangle, external tangle. The question is, Anto jata, inside also tangled, Bahi jata, without tangle, the outside tangle, Jataya jatita paja. The people are entangled with this tangle. Tantang Gautama Puchami, I am asking from you, Lord Gautama. who will distangle this tangle. So what is the connection between name and form? Once we talk about name and form, we must recall the sutta called Mahanidana Sutta, the root, the sutta about the all roots, the main root of Buddhism. In this Mahanidana Sutta, it explains, if we talk about a contact, if we talk about a contact of eye, a contact of ear, a contact of nose, tongue, or body or mind, contact must have two things. That is, a contact in physical way, and the contact in naming, contact with naming. So once you see something, there is the visual reflect in your eye, and that is a one thing. We call a term for that. That is Patichcha sampassa. Patichcha sampassa means the rough contact, and the naming, the contact called naming. We must have a rough contact also, and we must have a naming contact also. Once that without that rough contact, there will not any naming contact. So a naming contact needs that rough contact. Rough contact needs the naming contact. If not, there is no any idea about contact. So that's why some rocks, some stones hit together. Some stones touch together, but they will not make troubles. They will not fight each other. But humans fight each other. Because why? We have the real contact. But once we talk about stones or something like that, we give that value to those stones. We just have a conceiving, that stone touched with that stone. So there's a stone, there's a contact. That is our conceiving. Unless a stone cannot think things like that. So stone cannot think like that. The contact must have the two parts, the rough contact and the naming contact. So the cause to contact is name and form, or we can tell the concept of six sense spaces. Six sense spaces. Once the name and form be together, there is a contact. Here is my sound, and from your side, your conscious body naming my sound from sensations, perceptions, volitional activities, contact and attention. By those things, this sound naming by your physical body, by your brain. That is the way. So each and every time, physical, the external thing is the name, is the form, and the naming side is the name. If there is no my sound, there will no any naming about my sound. If there is no any naming about my sound, there is cannot exist a sound any longer. Because if I talk to a stone or some mountain or some tree, it will not make any sense. But for a conscious person, it will make sense. Because there is two things, the rough contact and the naming contact. So these both are needed. Each and every experience, we need the two contacts. We always experience a name and form, the reflection of external things and naming of our naming. So that is a way. That is the from this way also our mind, because of this name and form, we take it as a real experience. We just take the external and the internal, and the outside tangle is a tangle between the psyche. And as a work of this, name and form mean just a cognition according to your experience. And as a work of this experience, it again shows you a duality. There is a name and form. There is an external thing and the naming. And I named that. So those are the two tangles. One is within name and form. Another one is name, form and cognition. Name and form. Another one is name, form and cognition. We tangle with this process, and we experience the world, and we go through the world what it shows us. But now that this God asked from the Lord Buddha how to disentangle this tangle. So he give the answer. Sile patichcha naro sapanya. First thing, he must be a wise person, and now he need to then chitta panyacha bhavya. Then he must develop his concentration and wisdom. Athapi nipapubhikkhu. And he must be an ardent and prudent person. Soima vijate jata. The person, this type of person will distangle this tangle. So again, yesam ragoja dosoja avijjaja virajita jinasava arahanto soimang vijate jata. The person who free from lust, hatred and delusion, that arahant will distangle this tangle. Then again, Lord, that arahant will distangle this tangle. Then again, Lord Buddha is explaining the most important part. Yesam ragocha jatta namancha rupancha asesam parujati. Where's the place, the name and form with the the resistance and the perception of form are cut off without any residue. That means yatta namancha rupanya asesang upurujyati patigam rupa sanyacha. Resistance and the perception of form, perception of external things, the place. The name form will not find a footing. The resistance will not find a footing. That means the rough contact will not find a footing, and the perception about external things also will not find a footing. It's very deep. The real rough contact also will not find a footing, and that is a place. The perception, there is no any perception about external things also, no any perception about form. These both are totally cut off without any residue. He said here that the tangle gets snapped. So in the past sermons, I mentioned to you all how to overcome from this thing. Because our mind always tangled with name and form and the cycle of name, form and cognition. Because we are not put our attention to this moment, because we always in the present or the future. But Lord Buddha asks us to abandon the past and abandon the future and detach to the present moment also. In that way, you can find a liberation. In that way, you can find a peace. Because this moment, what you experience is a name and form, the external thing and the naming. But we tangle to those as real, as a reality, and we again tangled how there is external things, name and form is there, and I am cognizing this in this both ways. Always name and form needs a cognition needs name and form. In some times you may listen, some people going to die in the operation, so in some times, and again fortunately they get the life again. Sometimes they're telling I see a mother's womb, I see mother's womb, I see I see fire, I see animals, I see a light, like that way. Some people tell after those experiences. So why? In his last conscious time, the name and form come in front of him according to his karma. So, but without he catch it, he will not go to another place. He must have to catch it. He must has to catch this as why I am feeling this name and form. So that's what we are going to do in this Dhamma practice. Once our cognition becomes non-manifestive, non-reflective, there is name form or anything cannot be like that again. So we must have to understand this theory. So I will explain with an example. Listen carefully. Now you can hear my sound. The normal way people are thinking, there is this sound and I am listening. If I make my sound roughly, you may feel some disappointment or detachment. But because of why? Because of the delusion. But this I again emphasize, if you can hear this sound, it is just a cognition. But as a work of this cognition, mind creates the duality. There's the sound and the person who's listening and I. It is through the sound arise, your cognition arise with the addition of sound and I. Sound and ear, that means I mean you, yourself. But your experience is just a cognition. But as the work of this cognition again, mind divides a duality. There is a sound, there is the person who's listening. Because of that, because of this preparating, you may have lust, or you may have hatred, you may have insulting thinkings, or you may have desires. All things arise with this delusion. And you have to do so many things to fulfill those things. And that's why Lord Buddha said, after it becomes ignorance to preparations to a cognition, what is reflective, what is manifestive, then name and form is developing more and more, and there is a contact also. The contact means he approved the past and the external things, internal things, and there's a soul like cognition. There's a conscious, like that he accepts the three parts. Once he think there is an external world and I am in here, and I am cognizing this. Once he feel like that, it means he accept the sensations. He experienced then the pleasant, unpleasant, and neither pleasant nor unpleasant sensation. Sensations to again the desires to clicking. This has been craving to clicking. This has been craving to clicking to the concept of existence. Because of this concept of existence, you have to go to another birth once this body is lifetime over. So in Buddhism, what we are doing is we cut off that clicking. Then once the name and form going to reflect in your cognition, you will not cognize this with the clicking. That cognition also will just be just a cognition, nothing else. You will not cling that. You can't go to another birth. That is the deepest way of go to birth to birth. Right. Now in this way, you have to practice your all meditations in this manner. Now we can go to our meditation instructions. What is this week meditation instruction? We started, this is not about guided meditation. Every day you should do guided meditation in the morning. And except that guided meditation, you must have your own meditation practice. For that, what can we use? I think we stopped with the Sati Sambhajanya Pabba, maybe. We stopped with contemplating on our own postures and our own body workings. So we can meditate in this manner. But it would be a little hard to you all. We will finally talk about the posture meditation. Then someone have to contemplate on their body. He have to abandon all the other thoughts, all other things what the attention goes. So again and again you can contemplate on your body, and this is some advanced level of posture meditation. In posture meditation we just contemplate on postures. Now we have to contemplate on each and every works of our body. We have give the full contemplation on the body, and we know once we blinking, we understand, and once we stand up, we understand. When we turn around, we understand. When your hand go up, you understand. Hand go down, understand. And the fingers doing something, and the fingers doing something, you understand. While you're talking, your mouth positions, you understand with your own, and you can abandon all things and give the full contemplation to how this body works, just for your postures. So in this way, you can practice this. First of all, you can practice while sitting. You can give them all attention to your body, and know each and every small posture changing, or this small trick. Like you can uh, go with your body like you touch your body with a towel, head to bottom and bottom to head. You can uh, you can drive your concentration in this way. Then all the time, by this exercise, you have to take your mindfulness inside to the body, again and again, inside to the body, mindfulness. So once you take this mindfulness again and again, you may feel very comfortable, and a way to attain jhanas also. Unless Lord Buddha said after that, you have to practice with others also. Once you see some other person, you also just first of all you have to practice this in your own. After that you can compare with the others. Oh, they also just like a robot, this body. When some person work with his hands and legs, you can contemplate on his body, how this body works. There is no analyzations, but just insight in just contemplating the body's postures. So after that, you can mix both me and others, I and others, and you in that way also you can meditate the body as body. And finally, you have to do samudaya dhammanupassiva kayasmin vihedati, vaya dhammanupassiva kayasmin vihedati. You need to know the arising of the body and the cessation of the body, how this body concept of body arise with the food. Then he understands once he contemplate on the body posture second by second, he understands, oh, it's rise with the food. It rise with the food. Once you again and again contemplate on this rise with the food, the concept of body, the image what is in your mind about your body is going to be seized one by one, little by little. After that, why Dhammanupassiva kayasmin vihedati? You have to meditate while looking the cessation of the body, how the body sees. Once that concept of body, imaging of body, oh, this is mine. In that because of that concept, we feel the body. But once we understand, without there is no food, there is no any footing for body. So again and again, once you contemplate on your posture, again and again you have to understand, oh, by the cessation of body, cessation of food, there is no body. Once this meditation go good, then you can upgrade to the finally. At once you have to incite the arising and passing both together. Once you are contemplating on some body posture, and again you feel you are blinking, then you know this. You feel about your body, or this body arises with the food. Then you give the hint to the body, to your mind. Once the food is there is no body. Then once you understand that, then that imaging of body will cease from your mind. You will feel an emptiness about the body. In that emptiness also you can abandon again and again up to the stilling of all preparations. You can practice in this way, but for now don't go to all stages, just contemplate on yourself in your postures, in your all body physical works. Give the mindfulness to them by removing all other thinkings. So for tomorrow, we will discuss that our our next guided meditation called from discerning body parts to the Nibbana. So I wish you all to feel the fearfulness of samsara and do more effort to attain the supreme bliss of Nibbana in this very life. Sadhu, sadhu.
Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Is there any problem? Is there any questions? Did you understand those it comprehensive or not today, sir? You should do this meditation in your day-to-day life. Contemplate on the body. Totally give the mindfulness to the body while contemplate on the body. Totally give the mindfulness to the body while abandon the all other things. Always be with your body. Give the mindfulness to the body. How it works, how it change. Each and every changing of the body, you must be mindful, like blinking, and how while you're talking, how the jaw go up and down. And everything you have. Once you contemplate on body, the lust, hatred, delusion will not arise in your mind. So for that you have to contemplate. You will it will make a huge concentration on you. That concentration leads you to attend the stilling of all preparation. Did you understand? Is there any problem? So then we can join in tomorrow. Tomorrow morning may have more people, and tomorrow morning we'll renew the guided meditation again. Okay.
Thank you, Father. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
May the Noble Triple Gem